What's up, guys? Good morning. How are you guys doing? It's so good to have you guys here. We are live, and obviously you can tell we got excited because Sarah sent us. Look, where's yours, Alex? Do you have yours?
Mine is right.
I have mine right here.
Oh, no, I got the wrong one.
Wait, now you're upside down. Okay.
I got it.
Is it Thursday? I've never seen that camera effect. There it is right there, guys. We got care packages from Sarah, and she's been a little nervous. Sarah's been a little nervous about us opening these, mainly because we're already insane, but pretty excited about this. So Sarah, what is the inspiration behind this? Like, the rumor is that this is attached to something that's also happening here on the show as we open it up, right?
Well, there's a fun holiday happening this week, so I thought it would be really fun to send you guys a little something. I mean, we had a little Valentine's themed mod workshop on Tuesday, and
Okay.
had to send my favorite co-host a little something special.
Oh, that is so sweet. I think this is the first time I've ever gotten a Valentine's gift. Really, I don't actually think I've ever gotten anything for Valentine's, which is kind of funny because it's not that I don't like the holiday. I watched a Hallmark movie yesterday in preparation and all that, and then of course I'm flying tomorrow. But this is actually really awesome. I think there's two ways to think about it. I'd love to get the chat's opinion. Are you guys like Valentine's Day, or do you call it Singles Awareness Week? I'd love to know where you kind of sit on this. But I figured we'd go to the top down and I'd do the unboxing. Alex, are you prepared on your side?
I think no, hold on. Give me a second.
I'm just gonna. You have this. Is our kits the same, Sarah? Like if I unbox it, whatever.
I figured
There's
it
a
out.
little customization.
Okay. So we need to do two screen here. Okay. So I'm gonna go to main here, and then we'll do. Okay. So both he and I are gonna do this together from here. So I'm gonna.
Hands.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna open it.
So official.
I know. I got to do it official, right? Like, this is pretty special. Okay, so opening mine up, Alex. Oh, snap. Okay.
Oh! Sorry.
So there's my kit right there. And I get a Chippy. And then it's got a card. It says, "Be my co-op, DM me, no cap, dream setup intel." I do like the card. It says, "You plus Chippy equals perfect match. You're an upgrade. You're the upgrade I didn't know you needed. Thanks for being my tech guru. Happy Valentine's Day."
God.
So awesome. We got some. Look at these stickers. These stickers are awesome. Wait, you got a black Chippy?
No, I didn't get a black Chippy.
No,
Wait,
there's
do you have
nothing wrong with
do you have
colors.
your green screen on?
Oh, you know what? I think I have a
I was
chroma
like,
key on.
wait, they made a green Chippy?
Nope.
That's these stickers are awesome.
Sorry, chroma key was on.
Wow, that's
There you
pretty funny. Okay, so Chippy's back here. He's gonna hang out with little Chippy. So I have little Chippy and big Chippy back here now.
All right, Chippy's here.
Wow, look at this.
We're gonna be cannibals today.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I know, dude. Nerds. This is like pure. This is like pure powered. And these are gummy clusters. And the thing is Sarah said we have to eat all of these by the end of the show.
Oh goodness, I did not.
Oh, tiny conversation.
Oh, okay. So this is the part that I know is customized for me because I got peanut butter M&Ms, which are my favorite. So thank you very much,
Man.
Sarah.
Hey, taste the rainbow.
Yeah, and then we got this is actually going to be very helpful. Look at this. We got a nice little a microfiber cloth. This is a good quality microfiber cloth.
I can definitely use the tie wraps.
Is this a gummy controller?
It is.
What
Yeah.
is
Oh
this?
my God.
And by the way, it's life size. I mean, it is.
It is life size. Look at that.
Yeah.
Guys, look at the size of this. This is gummy.
Wow, this is gummy heaven.
Oh my gosh.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Thank you so
Wow.
much. Happy Valentine's.
And by the way, it's dairy-free, nut-free, fat-free, gluten-free, and no fun. Dude, this is crazy. It's only 80 calories if you eat the whole thing, Alex, so I think you can do it.
I don't know. It says 112.
Oh, sir, 1 of 12. Oh, never mind. There's 12.
12 servings.
Oh my God.
That
12
sounds more
servings.
right.
I was like 80 calories. Never mind. This is like 1,000 calories right here, if you eat that. And then we also got those branches conversation hearts, so which is actually pretty awesome. I got a couple of those too.
I love the card.
Did you read the conversation hearts on the card?
I did. They're awesome.
Yes.
That's what I
They're
say.
very great.
No
Riz?
cap. Oh yeah. Makes
I
me
mean,
feel
I'm
like
gonna
younger.
bet
Be my
Slay,
co-op.
no cap. It says here, Bomb Skippity, Ohio. It actually doesn't say Bomb Skippity or Ohio on it. But
No, it doesn't.
these are great. Now, we have up for grabs today some community versions of something similar to this, yeah?
We do. Actually, they're very similar. They don't have the gummy controllers. Those were special for you guys.
Oh,
But we
you.
will be giving out some Valentine's Day swag kits today.
okay, so you guys can win your own version, and I would love to see, if you win, I would love to see some unboxings on social
Yes.
of this, because these things, come on, you gotta admit, getting things like this in the mail are super awesome, right? So
Are the best.
thank you very much, Sarah. This is actually really, really awesome. And I promise not to eat all the sugar, because if myself and Alex did that, this show would be off the rails. Like off the rails in the worst possible way ever. So, oh man, dude.
We should use that controller as a measuring. You know, we had the banana and the croissant. So now we can use that as
Dude,
a measuring.
I'm eating that controller. It's a challenge. I have to eat a gummy controller. I'm totally going to eat that controller. Absolutely. There is no way. But anyway, guys, for those of you guys who are just joining us, welcome to Intel Live. This is the a couple times a month that we get together. We talk about all things gaming news. We usually show you amazing hardware. And then today we have a very special guest that is going to be talking about, who's going to be joining us with the game that we're going to be playing today, which is Eternal Strands. So really excited about this. Dude's worked on some legend games as well, but we'll let him introduce himself. So you have a lot to look forward to today. It's a jam-packed show. And the laptop we're showing today, c'est magnifique. Am I right, Alex?
Yes, it's really nice. It's pretty cool. Actually, I can't wait. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the laptop we're taking a look today is awesome. It has the new Intel Core Ultra 200H processors, actually the 285H. And I'm gonna leave it at that because there's all the stuff that we need to cover, but it is pretty neat, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. Well, Robey and I, so it's gonna be fun.
We'll both join. And the other thing too is, it sounds like the other thing too is I really love it. I think one of the, especially just a little tease about the games. I think you guys are going to be really excited about this. But Alex is actually going to show a hero moment in the game too, right? So I feel like everything is coming together for a really, really great episode, powered by sugar. So it's brought to you by sugar, which is going to be super, super crazy. So pretty excited about this, and it should be a really, really fun show. But we always kick off every show with a little bit of gaming news, a little bit of an intro, and all that sort of stuff. And a game that is actually very near and dear to my heart. One that I'm hoping at some point in time we get to play here on the show. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Actually, I gotta say, Alex, it is like a renaissance right now for action RPG games, because we had 3 action RPGs kind of launch. Just the one that we're talking about just now, Eternal Strands, and then we had Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then of course Avowed getting ready to come out as well. But Kingdom Come Deliverance had a really, really cool milestone. Their first weekend after launch, they braked into the 50 top time concurrent players on Steam, and then I think they've sold over 1 million copies already. This game, if you haven't had a chance to go check it out and play it, really, really, really cool. It is a very, very different take on kind of your action RPG set in the medieval times, knights, but all of the kind of humor and stuff around it. Great attention to detail, really, really unique combat style with their first-person sword play and all that sort of stuff, and been really, really, really cool to see it. And you can see it's got 89.4 40% rating, and then 250,000 people who are in game, which is actually pretty cool. So, and I've seen a couple commercials. Have you seen much about this game, Alex?
No, to be completely honest, I haven't seen much about this game, but it's great to see that games are, it's good to see these games do this well, and people really like them. I was kind of going through the comments. It seems like there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of humor in it. And they talk about Henry, I guess he's the main character, or like the character you play. So I think it's funny. I like to see. Actually, I'm a little curious on this one to go play.
I think if you really get a chance, this would be something I actually think you would like. It's just knowing you and kind of the culture and where you've kind of done. I think you would actually really, really enjoy this game if you get a chance. I know I wish you and I had more time to play games. Let's be honest, this is probably our prime time to get to play most games, which is the sad part. But this would definitely be one that it, like, might just randomly, well, I mean, unless we get to play it, but you know, maybe someday it just randomly shows up in your Steam thing and I make you play it like I'm making Sarah play through Final Fantasy 16, which, how is that going, Sarah?
I haven't gotten any game. Well, I was busy playing other games this week, so
Okay. Okay.
no more advancement just yet.
Okay. So she has been playing other games though, which is actually pretty rad. So cool. Awesome. Next one. This was insane. I'm just gonna put it on mute and hit play. We'll talk about it as we see it. Alex, I don't know if you've seen this, but for those who don't know, if you look back here in the back of the studio, you'll actually see over there in the corner this Civilization build that we did for Mod Workshop, which came out great. That's currently, that winners, that giveaway is still currently happening and all that sort of stuff. And that was done by Blue Horse Studios. But lo and behold, that wasn't the only one done by Blue Horse Studios for Civilization. And I'm just going to hit play on this. Alex, have you seen this mod?
No, I haven't seen it. Sarah kind of give me a, how do you call that? A preview of it, as in, well, she talked about it, but I haven't seen it like finalized. So
It's
I
amazing.
can't wait to see it.
I got to see this up close and personal, and it is incredible.
And yeah, and everything that he, like, let's just say he has not peaked. Every time you think like you've seen some of his other builds, you're like, this has got to be the best. This has got to be the best. Which, funny enough, the person who we're talking to today worked on Civ 2. I don't know if you saw that, Sarah, but this is the mod that he did for Civilization 7. And you're seeing a little bit of the Civ 7 gameplay and all that sort of stuff in here. But here, very shortly, and you saw a little bit of a sneak peek there of the system itself. But he's talking a little bit about the building of it. But this is actually a PC that he made, and now you're seeing a little bit of his work on it. But dude, crazy!
Oh my God! Look at the woodwork.
I know. He like and he cranks these out so fast.
Now, in case anybody is interested, inside of the PC, similar to what we built on Mod Workshop, does have the Intel Core Ultra 7, and also has the Arc B580.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. So it's very similar to the exact same one that we gave away, just a little bit more fancy, a little bit more, just a little bit though. I think you'd agree, right?
Yeah. It's got a train and a smokestack. Yeah, it's a little bit more fancy.
A little bit more fancy.
Wow.
Yeah, we're just watching him kind of put this together, guys. But is this not insane what he built? And then his painting and his modeling, dude, that's so nuts. And the smokestack works, and not in a bad way.
That is the best Valentine's Day present. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. You are very thoughtful.
Now, this one was given away, but I think
I stopped at the gummy controller, Alex.
I think this one was given away already. So this one is, but the other Civ 7 PC that we showed here in the behind us, that one is still up for grabs if you're interested in winning a Civilization 7 PC. But here is the debut. There it is, and it works. So crazy.
It's beautiful.
So I'd love to know who would have this on their desk. I mean, like, dude, I think this would look super good on any desk too, right?
I need to like buy a stand and like crystal encasement on top of it, because I think that's what it deserves at least.
Yeah.
Maybe put it in the, it's not gonna happen, but like put it in the middle of the living room. But yeah.
Yeah. Crazy build. So, okay, continuing on. Sorry, we took a little bit more time on that than I but you had to show the build, right? Like, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you get to see the whole process, right? Because I got to see it earlier, not the final product, but like the case. But I didn't know that it was actually built from wood. I thought he'd probably grab another case and mod it, but no, he built that from scratch. So I was like, oh, I didn't get to see that. So that was pretty neat. Insane.
Okay, so next up, it looks like Starship Troopers, which we've played a couple of times. This is not the game that I left Alex for dead in. I mean, though Alex did die a lot when we played co-op in this game. Starship Troopers Extermination Development. They're adding. Looks like there's a new difficulty coming out. Some UI optimizations. What else, Alex?
Yeah, so there's a new difficulty level that they're testing with their beta testers, and pretty much the feedback that they got from it is like it doesn't feel that difficult from what the hardest level that they had. So they're gonna go back to the drawing board and kind of change to that. They're also doing some optimizations to their UI to be a little bit snappier. And there's actually a cool surprise coming up on the next release of the 1.3, which it is actually they're adding some dynamics to their world.
Oh wow!
You can actually the day is going to actually transfer. So you have like morning, afternoon, and the whole thing. And also the weather is going to change. So that's a lot of new stuff that they're adding to it. So it seems pretty cool. It's pretty interesting to see what they've been adding to it. So yeah, we actually were lucky and we got to play this. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah. I know. Has it been that
nice.
long? It has, hasn't it? It's just,
yeah.
So time flies. Time flies. Also continuing on, I think this is an interesting thing. The next thing we're talking about here, and you can buy this yourself, the IGN Assassin's Creed Shadow snack box. Now, I have to say, not as cool as the snack box we just got, but pretty dang cool, Alex.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a gummy controller.
It does not.
This is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's like a lot of treats from Japan, specifically from there. So they're like premium snacks and candies that you can get. So it's pretty cool. I mean, Sarah can correct me. I don't remember actually when it's officially coming out, Assassin's Creed Shadows, but
I'm assuming it's coming out around March, right?
Yeah, I think so. I just can't remember the right date, but yeah, it's definitely coming up.
March 20th.
Okay, there we go.
So we're pretty excited. We get to delete more CPUs with a katana, so I can't wait to do that. I'm kidding.
It's pretty cool, right? Like especially, I mean, like if for those who don't know, and if you've ever been to Japan, Kit Kat culture is a huge part of this. It looks like there's some bean curd. There's like a little bag for holding your treats and stuff like that. But it's only $50, right? So that's actually a pretty good deal if you want to check out some really interesting. It's done by, it looks like this company that does their Japan crates, and so it's kind of along the same line, and it's a really neat idea. And then you can get 10% off if you want to pick one up. We have no affiliate links or anything like that. This is literally just something cool. So to be clear, we don't get anything bonus if you buy any of these stuff. This is not advertised or anything like that. So hashtag no, not sponsored. But we thought it was really cool and all that stuff. You get to kind of show that off, right?
It's pretty neat. I really like it. And you usually get like a bandana. Well, it looks like a bandana, so that's kind of neat. I'm sold.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. He's like, I need it. Yeah.
I need it right now. I need to wear that.
And then last week we talked about last week we talked about IEM Katowice.
Yes.
We have a winner, right? You want to talk a little bit about that?
We do. Yeah, Team Vitality took the champion.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see Team Vitality took the championship. It was great. I was actually looking through the teams there, and I was surprised. I mean, I haven't kept track of CSGO tournaments for a long time. So I was like, okay, I don't know that team. Okay, I know Notus Vincere, I know Virtus Pro, I know Team Liquid, but the other ones I'm like, wow, I need to get back onto to following this guys because there's a lot of teams, and you can see, like, I need to change jobs. I need to go and become a professional esports because the prize money was 400,000, the club rewards 200,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Team Liquid fan. I know Navi, right? But Navi. Some of the other ones, and obviously FaZe, G2, and then Astralis, which used to be like one of the dominant, Astralis was like one of the dominant forces, but Liquid and Astralis back there in 9th and 12th place, but still won 16 grand, you know what I mean? And then Team Vitality walking away with $400,000 in money, which is actually pretty dang awesome.
I mean,
so
I think the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Virtus Pro is the local team from Poland, and they've won a couple of times. They're a really good team. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Like you said, there are a lot of teams that I haven't seen, and some of the older ones that I was like, where do you guys go? But it's great. It's great. It was a great event. It was awesome. We loved it. And so that was the end of season 2024. 2025, because I think I put my foot in my mouth last time I said that.
You said 2004, 2005, so
yes,
but
so the kickoff of the next season starts in April.
Oh
in
wow,
Melbourne, Australia. So yeah, that's around the corner. So get you guys your team. So keep
And
your
then
eyes
do
out.
we get to go watch that live, Alex? Do you and I get to go to Australia? And is that happening?
Well,
or?
we'll definitely try to figure it out. You and I can watch one live. I don't know if it's going to be in Australia, but we need to figure that one out because it would be pretty cool to be there and see that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Well, cool. Congratulations to Team Vitality for winning. And then, it's starting right back up in just a couple months, which is actually pretty crazy. Speaking of something that is also pretty crazy, this was a little bit of a surprise. And I don't know, probably if you play a lot of like normal games, you probably haven't seen something like this, but this is a big thing on mobile games. This is something, my wife plays a lot of like puzzle games and all that sort of stuff, where basically you have to watch advertisements to earn the ability to essentially play. Well, Steam has essentially banned all Steam games that require watching ads to play. This has been a large and very successful model for free-to-play games to make money instead of actually having charges. And so this feels like a little bit of a, hey, Steam isn't a big fan of this method of freemium, so to speak. But this is actually pretty crazy.
It was interesting because also the article calls out like, hey, this is nothing new. It's been in the in the contracts or the T's and C's terms and contracts all there from Valve before. It seems like now they just like, okay, here's a website that actually will spell it out what it is. So it was pretty interesting. And then I started to wonder because it was like, back in the days, I used to play FIFA a lot, and there's a lot of place advertisements. So it's like, how does that count? Or so it's interesting to see. Like, probably have to dive into the small print to see what actually it entitles. But yeah, it's interesting to see what they're taking this approach, and we'll see what the response is from the industry in that manner.
And like you said, it wasn't something new, but again, this has been something that, I mean, obviously, like, and the only two is Steam isn't by far the most prevalent place for games of this nature, right?
Yeah,
like you would definitely see this more on things like, for instance, mobile and all that sort of stuff. So still a very interesting thing to see. And then all in all, like if some of these mobile games are looking for an avenue to get into PC, which is where you've probably seen this more, is people sitting there and adapting their games. Steam just said, "Don't come to us," right? So there you gotta go, which is cool. Like I said, it's been a rule for 5 years, but it looks like they're finally cracking down on it and then literally just flat out banned it. I'm going to let you take the lead on this next one, just because this is some pretty incredible stuff, but that we're going in there, and I'll just hand it off to you on this one.
All right, thanks, Robey. Yeah, so it's been no secret when the Intel Core Ultra 200S launch, it was not the prettiest of launch, and we had a lot of issues launching that, and we have pretty much said like, yes, we kind of dropped the ball. And we came out and we said like, yeah, this is what needs to be fixed and all the different things. So throughout the last couple of months, the engineering team and all Intel has been working very close with a lot of not only partners and motherboard partners, but also within there to make all the improvements on how the product was supposed to be released. And actually, now we have reached that point, and there's a lot of retesting going on. So one of the articles that actually, this one's in German, but just make sure you click on translate in English.
Which I did.
Don't speak German. Yeah. So a lot of reviewers right now, they're grabbing like, okay, Intel, now you guys have relaunched all these patches and BIOS and everything to make sure that, everything is where it's supposed to be, because when you launch a new technology, when you launch a new product, there's only so much you can test, all the things, and, you pretty much have to align all the stars. But now we have aligned all the stars, and now they're like, okay, let's go take it for another test run and see how it goes for. So they can actually start seeing now with all the different benchmarks that have been running that actually it's a pretty solid product out there, and something that you actually should take a closer look now that all the patches have been out. I mean, we already knew that it was is really, really good when it comes to multi-threaded workloads like concentration, all this stuff. But kind of one of the conclusions that this article reached was that, hey, you really should take another look at it when it comes to gaming performance, because it's actually, after all these fixes, it's doing really well. And not only that, but actually you should take a look at the Core Ultra 5 265K, because in their view, is one of the best price performance that actually get there. So just don't believe anything. I mean, take my word, go do your research, go look, go read all the stuff, and see all the different reviews that are coming out again. And not only from this German website, I also saw another one from Kid Guru that came out.
Yep.
That is really good.
I saw that one, yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff out there. So yes, it was a very rocky start, but hey, we're getting there, and it's as good news for everybody.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the Kit Guru one is like basically he was a big fan of the Core Ultra 7, in which the Ultra 7 and the i7 have been just kind of like a mainstay in your guys' stack for a really long time. But again, I know for those who don't know, and even us when we covered our CES coverage, like one of the big things that you guys talked about was the big BIOS updates and microcode updates that came out in January. So if you do have a Core Ultra, then you should absolutely make sure that you're doing your BIOS updates and all that sort of stuff, because that's going to go a long way towards getting these improvements and all that sort of stuff. And all of those things are now out and available, and pretty easy nowadays, especially if you're using a Z890 board with things like Easy Flash 4 and stuff like that. Updating your BIOS has gotten way simpler, and way more straightforward. So if you have one of these new CPUs, you should definitely go out and pick up the BIOS and make performance better, because better performance, I mean, essentially you just got more free performance, which is always good, right? So that's a win.
Free 99, I'll take that.
Free 99, exactly. I like that. I want Sarah to talk about this next one, because this is like we always like to highlight giveaways. We talked about this Civilization 7 giveaway that's happening, but this is one that's near and dear to Sarah's heart. And then, of course, talk about freemium. This isn't just one thing. There's multiple things getting away. So what's going on here, Sarah?
Well, just a reminder, because I know everybody always asks, we have two large giveaways going on right now. So we've got the Civ 7 giveaway that Robey just talked about. We also have the CLX PC giveaway that we've had. And now we got a Valentine's one. So for those... I had to do a little dance.
I know
on this
you
one.
did. You did. I like the vibrato in your voice and all that sort of stuff. Like you added to it. So
there was some real dancing. So for those of you who are interested and you want to upgrade and show your PC a little love this Valentine's Day, we have a free CPU and GPU combos up for grabs. So make sure that you sign up. We're gonna drop the link into chats across all of the channels, but. Evidently, this is my favorite holiday, I guess, this week. So,
you seem to be really into Valentine's Day. Today. I mean, like, you have been, like, don't get me wrong, like, Christmas and stuff was epic, but I gotta say, like, there's a lot of love around Valentine's Day between the Mod Workshop, this giveaway, the epic gummy controller. I mean, like, I feel like, if we were saying right now, can you feel the love tonight? I think, Alex, you would agree, right? Can you feel it? Yeah.
Yes, I can feel the love tonight. You know why?
Why?
What type of triangle you should ask out on a date tomorrow?
What kind of triangle should you ask out on a date?
A cute triangle.
That was a good one.
That was insert dad joke. Okay.
That was a good Valentine's Day dad joke.
Yeah, I mean, we got the karaoke, we got the dad joke, so we're just going down the list.
Oh man, I'm sure.
Nice.
This one is because this has Sarah's stamp in it and it's Sarah and all that sort of stuff. What did the stamp say to the envelope on Valentine's Day? I'm stuck on you.
Aww.
That is cute. That is a
there
cute
we
one. I
go.
like that one.
Even thematically on point and all that sort of stuff. Okay. Speaking of on point, the right thing for us to get on point about is to talk about this really epic laptop that we're going to be showing you guys in just a few seconds. The ASUS Zenbook Duo Laptop. These are the first of the new Arrow Lake H laptops that we're going to be debuting here on Intel Live. And this one is pretty magnificent. Wouldn't you agree, Alex?
Yes, it's actually, I really like it for the reason that it has, and I keep looking this way because it's down here, so sorry. It has two monitors. And I mean, when I travel, and we travel a lot and we have said that many times, I'm always asking for more real estate space when it comes to my monitor. And when I'm traveling, because I'm used to having big monitors. So this one provides that, and it's awesome. I really like it. So it's like, Robey, please go before I still.
Okay. So this one's amazing, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it. So right now, the one that we're gonna highlight today, which I'm really excited about, is the ASUS Zenbook Duo Laptop. Basically, this is, here's the parts for it. It's got an Intel Core Ultra 9 285H, which is one of the new Arrow Lake processors. So these are not the HX, these are in between, but these power things like the brand new ROG Zephyrus, which was like one of our top laptop from 2024. This is where you'll see this kind of class of laptop. But what it does is it powers amazing thin and light laptops like what you're going to see here. And as you can see in just this little image, this thing has 2 screens, but this laptop is kind of a transformer of a laptop all in. It does have OLED 3K 120 hertz touch displays. It's got 2 of them. Intel Arc graphics, which this is based on. This is Alchemist though, not Battlemage, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, so it's Alchemist with a twist. So I'm gonna your thunder here for a second. So it is Alchemist with a twist. The official name is actually Intel Arc 140T. But what it is yes, we have some stuff from Alchemist, but we have actually improved on it, and we have included also the new XESS2. For you guys who don't know, that's a new type of technology that we have included in our latest graphics card and integrated and actually built-in graphics card. So EXS2 consists of frame generation, super resolution, so pretty much super resolution and low latency. As we said before, frame generation is we are taking a look at the frame that we're already projecting, the frame that is coming up, and we insert the new frame there to make things smoother. We have super resolution. What it is we're rasterization the image at a lower resolution and we're actually making it bigger. And low latency it speaks for itself. What we're trying to do is reduce the amount of time of responsiveness when it comes from your inputs to the monitor. So all these are actually within this type of processors, which is pretty neat. Quickly, since we're all still in the nerd side of the world, we have cores in there, which are the Lion Cove and the Skymon cores. So the Lion cores are your P cores. And we know that for single thread performance is about 17% according to our numbers, but please go check everyone else's third-party numbers. And for multi-threaded performance, we have around 20% faster. All these numbers are comparison to the previous generation, which was Meteor Lake. So we have all those fun things. And the one that Robey actually has, it has, I lost that. Just want to make sure. Yes. So it has 6 P cores and has 8 efficient cores. And I don't know if you guys remember, it also has 2 low power efficiency cores. So for those when we're running at lower power states or doing different things. So I'm going to leave it at the level of nerdiness. I'm going to check the chat if there's any questions. More than happy to answer that.
Okay, so Vedalon, I think he had a really great. I think Vedalon put it best. He was like, those are a lot of parts, but I have no idea what anything is. Let me just break it down, Barney style, as I like to call it. So Barney style is because of the CPU and the GPU combination. What you really are getting is something that is really good at productivity and things like light video editing and stuff like that on a laptop that weighs almost nothing. That's the part that's really, it still does have weight, but it's ultra light and it's in a very, very interesting form factor. From a gaming standpoint, this can do things like run Cyberpunk 2077 and all of these other kind of like more premium games, but more like spot checking, like in a pinch. Really what it is for those indie titles like your Sea of Stars, your Hades, those kind of games are gonna be amazing on this. And because of things like dual screen and the multitasking, you can do stuff like watch Netflix on one screen, game on another, or game stream on one screen and do some productivity and stuff like that on another without having any hiccups and stuff like that.
Gaming on both screens.
And then having battery life that is in the 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 hour range all up. So that's the short of all of that, those P cores, those E cores, the RAM, the storage, all that stuff turns down into your experience with this thin and light and something that has really been innovated since Meteor Lake is these really, really great form factor laptops that can do just about everything. Think of them as like the Swiss Army knife of laptops where, I mean, sure, could you kill a bear with the Swiss Army knife, but it's not the right tool, but this can, you know what I mean, cut open, a box or has a screwdriver to tighten your door or whatever it was is a kind of a neat way to kind of think about what these used to be is like kind of one trick ponies. And now they can kind of do everything good enough, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I would like to see that one with a Swiss Army knife and a bear. And I've seen your screwdrivers, Robey. You have different size screwdrivers over there. So you have Excalibur. Did you actually ended up naming the other one? The one that's even bigger than Excalibur?
Oh, I haven't. You're talking about this one right here. So like if people haven't seen like Excalibur, so here's Excalibur right here. So that's Excalibur. And this is, we don't know what the name of it is yet. It's just, it's so much longer. It's like just so ridiculously long. So yes, we have all sorts of different ones. And no, the notebook can't kill a bear. I think it was just trying to get an illustration. Sorry if it didn't make any sense, but that's what I was trying to do. So let's go and unbox this bad boy and kind of show it off here. Cool. First thing, we go to the top down here, is we get a neat little, this is an edition that didn't exist with the original version, but they actually give you a really nice case for this thing, which I think is a great like addition, especially for something like this, because this laptop is not, it's not cheap, but it's not inexpensive either, coming in at $1,700. So definitely nice to have a cover like this that can cover it. And then inside is pretty straightforward. I mean, it feels like the box is a little bit bigger, but it is really nice. So here is the box itself. Kind of opens up, and then inside here is the Zenbook Duo itself. And again, if you remember when we did the S16 and the other ones, this is a very, very kind of like their standard box, and then you have the device itself. So it kind of pops open, which is really cool. And then you have your box and then all of your other stuff, and then comes with this. And you've got your warranty info, and you've got like this nice little, I actually don't know if this is, do you know if this is anything? I don't think it is.
No, I don't. No.
Oh, it looks like it is. It does things like it can fold. Oh, so you can, it's actually, you can fold it to create a stand for your laptop if you want to.
Oh.
So yeah.
But the laptop, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, you'll show it in a minute, but the laptop also comes with a built-in stand.
Yeah, so you don't, it's not something you really need as an extra. But hey, you know what, if you want to, and if you're into origami, there you go. And then here is the actual laptop itself, which is pretty crazy. Now this one comparatively, it's still considered a thin and light. Like you said, it's like I think it's just under 4 pounds, all in. But when you look at the device itself and you open it up, and it's got really right here is the actual keyboard. So this just goes on it just like this. So this is what you would consider, and I'll go to the side camera mode. So this is what you'd consider like more standard keyboard mode, right? It's like pretty straightforward, all that sort of stuff. But the thing is that if you take this off, which it's got a strong magnet, you actually have a whole second screen here. So it's actually 2 screens plus a keyboard from there. And then we'll show you all the different ways that you can use that here in just a second. And then right back here on the back is a stand. So then you actually have what is essentially a full dual screen keyboard setup for your machine. So it is crazy how cool this thing is. And then Alex, you can show them on your side because you're unboxing it too, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the best.
The best angle is always.
Down.
That's upside down again.
I'm back in Australia here. Hang on tight.
Unboxing in Australia. So we're showing this on there, but the thing that's so crazy about this is that you also don't necessarily need the keyboard either, because one of the things that's really neat about this is if you go like this and you set it down like this, I'll go to the top down mode here, but if you take your 2 fingers and you go like this, you get a keyboard.
Yeah.
So then you can just type just like this, so you don't necessarily need to have a keyboard as well. And then, like I said, you can just take this keyboard if you want and just pop it up here, and then it just becomes a regular keyboard too. So it just connects via magnets, which is actually pretty crazy. And this is a touchscreen 4K OLED, which is actually pretty crazy as well. So as you can see, we already have Steam and all that stuff that's kind of on here, but the screens are bonkers.
Yeah, the OLEDs are so beautiful. I really like it. I'm gonna go sit down over here.
And you do have this mode as well. So you can actually set it on its side and use it in, and all of this, you can see that the screens are changing based on that as well. So all you have to do is rotate it, and then the screens can be like this. So if you want to basically work on documentation, legal documentation and stuff like that, it absolutely works as well.
Or
and then all you got to do is rotate.
Yeah, if you're
Now-
coding, that also helps too. Or if you're scrolling or reading, it comes really handy.
You cannot put this all the way in tablet mode. Somebody was asking, can you flip it so you have a screen on both sides? No, you can't do that. So it's really, really cool for all sorts of different orientations. But this mode right here, where you essentially can have main screen and then secondary screen, I kid you not. What I'll do is I'll literally have I'll do YouTube video up here and then notes down here, or I'll basically run Netflix and then I'll do a game stream at the same time. So you're seeing Alex's mode right there. But its versatility is absolutely insane. In terms of that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Especially it looks. This is actually how I have set it up at home with my desktop. I have one monitor on top of each other, and in the top I would like to have email, chats, and the news that I'm supposed to be reading during the day that I try to read or listen to. And then here at the bottom is where I'm working, responding to an email, creating a PowerPoint, creating, because that's the only thing we do around here. And so yeah, it comes really handy. And this is what I want for Christmas as my work laptop, because of, like I said, I travel so much, and this will make my life so much easier when it comes to just the real estate and all that. Seems to be a little bit more productive than multitasking.
And yes, the keyboard does work when separated. You just have to turn it on. It goes
Turn
Bluetooth.
it on the left side. Yep.
Yeah, left side, and then all of a sudden you can see here I'm actually just using it like a normal keyboard.
I'm gonna bring this over here. So we have a Thunderbolt port here. This is oh, look at that. It's my friend RJ. Is it it looks like an RJ?
So yeah, the cool thing is and again, it's just one of those things where you can have it sitting back and all that sort of stuff. The power adapter, which you can see is plugged into Alex's, is actually not large either. So you might think, with a power adapter like this, it's going to be huge, but it's not. It's actually a little small 65 watt.
Yeah. So you have your RJ45, you have your audio jack. I'm a little sucker for these two guys because sometimes they're hard to find. And then what do we have here? We have another a Thunderbolt port over here, and we have a full HDMI just in case you need a third screen or you just want to work in a bigger screen. So it's pretty nice. And actually the hinges are pretty sturdy too.
And the other thing that if you're a digital artist, which is also worth mentioning, I don't know if you showed this, but it does come with the ASUS pen. This stylus is amazing. My wife has used this for drawing and all that sort of stuff, and so the pen is awesome, especially if you're doing, if you want to do marking up and all that sort of stuff. So as a productivity device, this thing is literally super impressive in that way. And all of this stuff comes with the price of $16.99. So not only do you get 2 screens, you also get the keyboard, you get the mouse. Not only do you get the keyboard, the power, the pin, and you get the cover, and that's all included for $16.99, which is actually pretty cool.
And you can, this guy that we have here, is the Core Ultra 9 285H. So that's the top of the line of our processors. I guess I don't know how to open the box.
It's up at you just open it up at the top.
I knew I should have gone that day at kindergarten when they were teaching how to open boxes.
And so it comes with the pen. So luckily, the good thing is you don't need to buy something else for it to work. And then the stylus is actually a really nice stylus, and it also comes with a charge cable as well, which is actually really, really cool. So there's the charge cable. So everything comes included that you would need, which is actually really neat. Ancient W said Robey, but I must have missed your question. Sorry. And like I said, 2 Thunderbolt 4, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A, HDMI 2.1, and a combo audio jack. And the fact that this is a Core Ultra 9, previously they haven't done the top end of the stack, but the fact that this is a Core Ultra 9 inside of a device this thin is actually pretty crazy. This is a really, really cool device. And if you are into productivity and if you're into just media consumption, it's really cool. And then the other two is I want to talk about and I'll show it really quick, is just the speakers, because the speakers are actually really good too.
Actually, yeah. I'm really surprised on the speakers for the, for all this, for everything that you have, because, there's only so much real estate you have within the chassis, and to have the battery, 2 monitors, and it also kind of speaks to the thermals, right? You have this is like you said, this is kind of the middle of the family when it comes to the types of processors that are out there, and then you have all this into that small, thin form factor. So it really tells you like the efficiency when it comes to power and performance. Now, only if I knew how to turn on the pen. Probably I need to charge it.
You have to charge it. It's not charged. It was partially charged, but the pen is actually really, really nice. And then I think ours is charged, so I can show that here in a minute.
I just wanted to draw you, Robey, but I guess you're gonna have to draw me.
You can draw me anytime. You can be my wingman. So anyway,
I'll
I'm
be
going to
your
play
Goose to your Maverick.
You're hearing the audio. The audio is actually really crazy. It's amazing how loud. I feel like they took the Zephyrus because you actually get a full array of sound. And then the other thing, the fact that it's OLED. I mean, this thing has a lot of sound for the size. So I mean,
what?
Crazy. Sorry, I'm geeking out because of how crazy this is. And the only last thing is Intel Evo, which means you get up to 3 hours on a 15-minute charge. You get all of the easy connectivity stuff. It's got all of the guaranteed stuff, instant on. All that stuff is all built because it's also Intel Evo certified as well.
Yes. What are we missing? Let's see what we're going over.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, I forgot we were in the show, and I was like, I want to go do some other stuff.
Yeah, you're like, I just want to go watch a movie right now. And then all you got to do is just put it like this, and then as the keyboard is sitting on the device does actually charge the keyboard. So there's a competitor device, the YogaBook 9i, which we've shown on the show as well. The couple things that are very different about this is that things like the keyboard, this is a full the keyboard fully replaces the top. It has all the same features, and then at the same time, the keyboard is charged by the device. You don't have to plug it in separately, which is actually pretty crazy. And you get the full larger touchpad and all that sort of stuff. But for its overall, it's just under 4 pounds. And then at the same time, you're getting the full power of a Core Ultra 9, which is pretty crazy. The GPU is it's actually Alchemist Plus. It has a more specific name that Alex said that I will not remember.
But the ARC 140T.
The 140T. Yeah, that just it rolls off the tongue. But
exactly. I'm surprised you didn't remember that. Come on, man.
But the thing to remember about it is that for games like Hades, for games like for any of your indie titles, Sea of Stars, stuff like that, no problem whatsoever. And it will still play games like Assassin's Creed and those that they're closer to 30 to 35 frames per second with XeSS. And that is, we've even seen things like on Forza Horizon where we actually tried ray tracing on medium because we're finishing our review for that. And this was actually able to do that with XeSS because of the power of XeSS and FrameGen. So it can do AAA. Is it made for it? No. But what it really is it's a device that can do everything well, and it does some things really, really, really awesomely, like productivity and things like that as well. Digital art, video editing, that sort of thing, you get quite a bonus for such a small device. It's $1,600, which is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah. And like Robey said, the ARC has the accelerators for all that machine learning tools that are coming out, and then also we have the other accelerator, which is called the NPU, which is also there. So for all these new, I know we have been, we said a lot about AI, but all these things are coming out, and the hardware's there, the hardware's ready to take advantages of that, whatever is coming out that is next. So from machine learning to new large language models to cats in the sky with wings.
To cats in the sky. And here you guys can see it up. Like I said, you can see it up on Amazon now. They are available. $16.99 right now. They deliver near the end of February. Like I said, 14-inch. It's got a 3K 120 hertz, so it's not quite. It's better than 1440p. Intel Evo certified. Core Ultra 92850H, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Windows 11. It's got and it has both the keyboard, the stylus, and the dual screen all included in the box, as well as a 65-watt charger. So yeah, very, very cool. Any questions that you guys see? If not, we're going to start moving on. Any questions? But if not, we got a very, very special guest that we're going to be bringing on the show here very, very soon. But I want to make sure that we cover what you guys want to know about the laptop before we move on. So feels like most people are like, it was pretty epic, and people are winning stuff too at the same time. Did Electric Yoshi win the swag kit? I can't think of a better
just won
person.
the Valentine's kit, yeah.
Oh man, I can't think of a better person for that.
Electric Yoshi is the man.
Custom Chippy had to go to Electric Yoshi for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, well guys, let's get our guest on and get him prepared. We have somebody very, very awesome joining us today, guys. His name is Jeff. I'm going to let him do his full name and all that sort of stuff here in a minute. Jeff has been around for a while, and we're really lucky to have him here. Jeff, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your story, because looking at your history of the games you've made, you've been around the block, buddy.
Well, first off, I just want to say thanks for having me to the show, Alex, Sarah, and Robey. It's awesome to be here. My first time with the Intel crew. So, as you can probably tell by the gray beard, it's not my first rodeo. 28 years. It's kind of crazy. Seen a lot. So, but I've been looking forward to Mondays all 28 of those years. So I couldn't be any more fortunate and humbled about that. It's been a wild journey. So we can unpack the whole journey as much as you want. I can talk about heavy iron MMORPGs like Dark Age of Camelot and Warhammer Online, Ultima. And then we can talk about a little bit about Civ. I saw Civ 7, you guys showcasing that a little bit earlier with the recent release there from Firaxis, which is pretty cool. I used to work for Microprose back in the day in Hunt Valley, Maryland. So Baltimore used to be my old stomping grounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. And now I'm up here. I don't know if you can see my background, but it's snowing here in Quebec, Canada. So now I'm up north.
And I just went to full screen on you so people can get the full, look at it, look at that, like back there.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a painted picture. That is the actual weather right now in beautiful Quebec, Canada, which is actually pretty cool. So, which, funny enough, it's like snowing here in Seattle. Is there snow there, Sarah, in Oregon right now as well?
Oh yeah, we easily got an inch or so here this morning.
So you're not
That's
as isolated right now,
Sorry,
Jeff, as you think you are with the snow. we all got it. We're sick of the white stuff. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow to get away from it for a little while.
Awesome.
Microprose, man, that was like, those were my flight sim days. Games like F-117 and all those other ones, right? So like that
M1 tank, gunship. Yeah. I was a big Microprose fan long before I worked there. That's where I got my first internship there back in '97, just freshman, right out of my freshman year in college. And I had no idea they were just 20 minutes north of my campus. So I got super lucky there, and it was a blast.
Okay, and you, it's funny, you and I have kind of been similar in terms of our history as a game, because I started off in QA and then went to production, ran a studio, did design, and then literally just used to run usability and all that sort of stuff there. I see senior producer, world artist, design, and then even COO. So you've actually you're like a jack of all trades. They can plug you in anywhere and you're ready to go, huh?
Yeah. You know, our industry is always changing. So, I started off, my major in college was illustration. So I had a fine arts major. And then I got into the industry kind of as a 3D modeler, environment artist. Did that for a while, eventually landed at Electronic Arts, was an art director there for a while. and then made the switch to producer, and then eventually joined Ubisoft to work on the Assassin's Creed franchise as a producer. Did that for about 6 years, and then decided it was about time to kind of do my own thing, and found a great group of people to start off the company, yellowBrick Games. Back in 2020, we were 8 people. Today we're about 60. We just shipped our first game, Eternal Strands, which I'm excited we're gonna showcase a little bit here. And yeah, we've been living on cloud 9 since the last 2 weeks with finally seeing that game out in the public.
So tell us a little bit about Eternal Strands, because as somebody who, we're all gamers, we've played a lot of games. There are a lot of, feels like big game inspirations here. Tell us a little bit about the one when you went in and you pitched to publishers and all that sort of stuff and said, this is the game. What was that one-liner, your key pitch for the whole thing?
Yeah, for sure. I think the one-liner was, "The world is your weapon." So for us, there's a lot of veterans on the team, who've been around 15 plus years or so, 20 plus years. So we knew we were very comfortable doing like third-person action adventure games. Especially one of the co-founders, Mike Laidlaw, who's best known for like being the creative director behind the Dragon Age franchise. Right. So we knew there was going to be a bit of storytelling, and we wanted to build a new world, a new setting. We're definitely a team that flourishes in blank canvases, so we were excited to do our own IP, our own take. And I think the big thing for us when it came down to the gameplay is we really wanted to take a step back in terms of how can physics, the ability to play with thermodynamics, temperature, telekinetic powers, what can this bring to kind of an action adventure game in terms of a combat focus? So, we were fine with climbing big creatures, and we wanted to be able to bend and blend powers together to have like creative solutions for players to kind of overcome different challenges or traversal challenges in the world and do it in their own way. We didn't want to script or dictate how to play the game. We just wanted to give a lot of tools to the players to kind of come up with their own solutions. Okay.
And then I see some answer. I see some Shadow of the Colossus in there. I definitely see some of the more modern Zelda with like the how the telekinetic system works. You definitely see that melee combat, the Dragon Age and that like action RPG element. When did you feel like you kind of nailed the feeling for the game? Like when did you feel like you had that moment that's like, yeah, we got something, and let's make it happen?
It kind of came in pieces. I think early on, within the first couple of months, I think we stood up something that we felt we could deliver on the climbing mechanics, and our big creatures in the game, our arcs, they're fully dynamic in terms of how they're animated. It's all driven by kind of motors in terms of how they move. You could be climbing on a surface and the arc could try to punch you, and it's going to aim to where you're climbing at, or if it kind of does a ground pound and it hits the ground, you can like freeze its limbs to the ground. So everything's very dynamic. And this is one of the first things we kind of stood up. Purposely, we went after the most challenging problems early, because that's the whole part of conception, is like fail fast. We knew we were a small team. We didn't want to work on a feature for like a year and a half, and then suddenly realize we couldn't bring it to fruition, or we had to cut it. So we really wanted to keep our budget lean as much as possible to build the best thing we could do.
Okay. Well, I think at this point in time, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and boot up the game. But Alex is going to be kind of our guide today, because you were working. It was actually really funny. You came into chat together, and then all of a sudden, immediately, Alex was already working on the game, and he was really excited about it. And so as we kind of start getting into it, I'm going to be asking you questions. So I'm going to go to Alex. Why don't you go ahead and get everything started for it? For people who are kind of coming in and seeing this game, you guys, like you said, you've been out for 2 weeks. You've already kind of talked about some things from a roadmap standpoint that you guys are working on to help improve. Like, what are kind of the big things that people should look forward to as the game is kind of, coalescing and, like a fine wine? What are some of the things that you feel like are the big stuff that you guys are going to kind of focus on?
Oh yeah, so it's been great. 2 weeks ago we released a PC demo just to start getting some early feedback. Then the game launched, and it's been great getting all the. I always say I'm a big fan of hearing all the great things that people love about the game, but I'm also much more interested in knowing, what was the things not working right, or if there are any like frustration points and stuff. And again, as an indie company, this is being our first title. There's a lot of great feedback we saw just from the first, the amount of people who played our game in the first day was more than the amount of time we've had collectively as a team over 5 years playing.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of like tuning, inventory space, how does the combat feel on the pad, like all these kinds of things we're adjusting. We just did a hot fix yesterday, increasing the inventory space a bit more because we heard that feedback from the community. And we have another kind of a day 30 patch that's going to be coming up in the coming weeks. We're excited about. It's going to start addressing some of the other great feedback we got from the community in terms of, I really wish we had rumble support on combat, or the hit impacts felt a little bit more crunchier and stuff like that. So those things are coming. And then beyond that, we actually we made an announcement back in December when we announced the release date. We actually have a pretty cool spring update that we're doing a collab with Square Enix, our friends over at Creative Studio 3.
Okay.
So people behind Final Fantasy 16, you were talking to Sarah about that earlier, as well as Final Fantasy 14. So we're working with one of their lead concept artists, Mogi-san, and he designed one new epic for our game, along with some new armor and weapons for Bryn, our main protagonist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is pretty cool because we went back and forth, like, should we just bring a Final Fantasy IP character into the universe of Eternal Strands? And actually sitting down with them, and when they saw our gameplay, they were just like, can we just make something new for you guys we're inspired by these mechanics, which is super cool. So we're super pumped about that. And the team's hard at working on that actually while we're talking right now. And that content is coming. And then on top of with that spring update, there's other things we're going to be tuning based on all the feedback we've been getting from players. So really excited about the updates coming in the coming months.
And I feel like that's such an important thing, right? Like, I think a lot of times, and you're seeing good responses from within chat already, where people are like, I like hearing that companies are listening. And I feel like that's such an important cycle of game development. Is this game gets out there, and like you said, you guys are only 60 people, and like in the first probably, I don't know, day, they have played more hours as a community than you can as your entire team, right? No matter how big your QA team and all that sort of stuff is. So the thing is, there's so much you want to learn, and you guys literally, the one thing is you guys are saying we're not perfect. We're giving you our vision, but for the most part, like, this game will be crafted with the community over time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're learning so much. We made. We knew we weren't going to be perfect when we shipped it, but it's been great getting the feedback and knowing that we can actually adjust to some of those changes. So we'll keep listening to the players. This was absolutely a huge passion project for all of us. It's the first time I can say, especially being in this industry for so long, when you work for bigger companies, I mean, there's a lot of benefits to that, but again, this was our own game. Like, everything that we built, all the decisions we made based upon our reality in terms of our budget, our team size, and our skill sets. And we couldn't be more prouder of what we've done, and excited for where it's going to go in the future.
And guys, this is Eternal Strands. So Alex is currently, Alex, what are you working on? Do you need some help? Like, do you need some guidance?
Actually, we should give a preview, because I'm 2 hours into the game. So I think you guys, you and Jeff, should pretty much give a little bit of background of how we got here, what's going on.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to give him the backstory, Jeff?
Yeah. I can do the quick elevator backstory. So in our game, you play as Bryn, who's on the left side of the screen here. I guess Alex is controlling, and she's basically a kind of our fearless warrior. She's a treasure hunter at heart, and she basically takes the role of point for her Weaver band. So as Alex mentioned, he's about maybe 2 hours into the game right now. So they've already set up their base camp, just getting their adventure going. But the way the game starts off is there's been kind of, about 40, 50 years ago, there was this big magical explosion that took place at the city called the Enclave. This city suddenly kind of set a huge magical dome around itself and sealed its way from the rest of society. And no one's been able to enter the Enclave to see what happened. So basically, as Bryn, along with your Weaver band, you basically find a way into the Enclave, which Alex has already passed that point. And you settle here at this base camp, and you're starting to kind of unravel the mysteries of what happened here. And I won't say more than that as you play through the game. you'll experience that. The way the world is kind of structured, it's not a big open world game. It's what we like to call open zone. So areas kind of connect to each other, and everything stems from the hub, your base camp, and then you go out on adventures and then come back to your hub. So here, Alex right now is in Glintwood Hollow, which is one of the first areas you discover when you start the game. And I believe at this point, Alex had to go off, and there was one of our bigger creatures in the game. They're called arcs. There was a kind of a dormant arc out by the collapsed mines, and our fast travel system is done through loom gates. So he had to discover one of the loom gates in Glintwood Hollow, and then if I recall correctly, Alex needed to get a piece of the arc to activate and turn on the loom gates from the base camp. His weapon wasn't strong enough, so he ended up going back to Sola, his smithy, to basically upgrade and reforge his weapon so he could damage the arc, and now he's making his way back out to the arc. So good luck, Alex. I believe in you.
Thank you. What about the magic, like the magic that I'm using on?
Yes. So that's one of the cool things about our game. We like to say cast and combine. So we, like I mentioned earlier, you have a couple of different powers, and that tool set expands as you play more and more of the game. So there are 9 big creatures in the game. Each creature contains one of the powers. You start off the game though with 2 powers, which is Ice Wall and Weaver's Grasp. So Ice Wall allows you basically to draw ice and basically inject cold into the area. You can use this for making metals brittle. You can use this for pinning creatures in place, big or small. And then you also have your Weaver's Grasp, which is kind of our telekinetic power, where you can basically anything you highlight that shows purple means you're strong enough to grab it. You can pull it towards yourself, and then you can throw it to break it or throw it at another object. You can lift up creatures and throw them. And of course, as you upgrade these powers, they become more stronger. So the constraint of the ice becomes stronger. It doesn't melt as quickly. Telekinetic, the Weaver's Grasp can lift up heavier things, can throw things farther. And then on top of your magic, you have your weapons. So we have 3 different types of weapons in the game that you unlock over time. We have a sword and shield, which Alex has right now. So basically, it's your pretty, your typical meat and potatoes weapon, I would say, in an action adventure game. What's great about the sword and the shield, even though the strikes are pretty quick, you have the shield to parry or to block. Then you have a 2-hander, which I don't think Alex has found yet.
No, not yet.
He'll eventually find schematics for that weapon to build a 2-hander. So you can imagine, it hits really hard, a little bit slower, but you gain your damage output is a lot higher. And then you have the bow, which you can take shots. You can focus shot by. I guess you're playing on mouse and keyboard. I think, Alex.
No, I'm cheating.
You're on controller?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, then R3 click when you have the bow out, will allow you to do a focus shot. And then you can kind of zoom in when you have the arrow drawn. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that. So I didn't know about the parry. So you can parry. Is there like an indication when, like with perfect strike or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like if Alex wants to try it, if Alex, you switch to sword real quick, which is the Y, and then pull it. Now, as soon as you see the enemy about to lunge at you, there'll be like a little bit of a white flash on its paw for the Akala. You can just press block right at that time. There you go. So now he's stunned, and you can get a couple of hits in. And then you can also do a charge attack as well.
That's probably the smartest.
Which is the hold.
That makes that, honestly, that changes. And the other thing too is the thing is that one of the things that people should understand is you are trying to give people so many different ways to approach combat. So you don't have to parry.
Absolutely.
You could literally do what Alex was doing and pick them all up and throw them off cliffs if you wanted to, or you can freeze them. Now, one of the things I noticed, because you just said that, is you can make metals brittle. I noticed up near one of the top of the hills, there's these giant, large metal boulders. Can you freeze those and then blow them? Like that's how you can get resources out of them?
Absolutely, Robey.
I solved it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically, one thing that we did is everything in the world, like if you break, whether it's enemies or the environment, it has a chance to drop material. And all this material you use for crafting your weapons and your armor. You don't go to a store and buy a weapon or buy a helmet. You actually craft it. You have to find the recipes. They're scattered out in all the maps. And then you can build multiple variations of any piece of armor or weapon if you want to have higher heat resistance, lower weight, higher ice resistance, more armor. Depends on what your play style is. And so yeah, and another thing you can do with temperature, because we want the players to play around with their powers. When you find material like that, you can burn it or freeze it, and that'll actually alter the loot table what it spawns. So that's another mechanic you can start to experiment and master with as you play the game.
I think that was kind of one of the things for me is like when I got into the world, like at first, like the intro when you get in and you're kind of exploring, you're like, oh, this feels, for lack of a better word, like a little bit more, you know how Dragon Age was a little bit more corridor? Your zones are massive. Like, I know it's not open world, but they're still really big. And I didn't want to not find anything, right? Because the other thing, too, is you also have, like, little lore things that you can go find that are in each zone and stuff. There's a lot to discover here.
So basically, like, if Alex, if you pull up your map real quick, I can just explain a little bit. It's okay. He's not going to attack you. And I'll give you a tip on that little guy, too, for the audience as well. So there's your map. So a couple cool things with the map, like you're mentioning, Robey. So first off, there are schematics hidden throughout the map, and you might see that there's like a little hammer there. It says like, I think 1 of 5. I can't see it on my screen. Maybe yeah. So we actually, it's a little bit of a Where's Waldo. If you look for those little hammers, they're scattered there. If you want to find them, they give you a little hint. Or if you want to discover it, you can go do it. Yeah. So that's there for you to play with. And that's how you find the additional schematics. So every map has weapons and a full armor set, so that you can find. And again, you can mix and match your armor sets as you like. The other thing you can press is X to bring up your attunement for Glintwood. So as you collect, Robey, you were talking about the codex fragments, which are basically these little bits of knowledge that we kind of have breadcrumbed around the maps. So as you collect those, we reveal more information about the map. So when you unlock your fast travel system, you'll be able to see all the maps. And you can go, oh, what's the weather condition in this place? What creature? What's the big boss that's roaming? Because our bosses move around dynamically with every passing day.
Oh, wow.
And you can also see there how many loom gates there are there. You can unlock your fast travel, how many schematics are there for you to discover, how many codec. And then if you hit the RT button, I believe, Alex, that will then show you, I think it's RT. Yeah, is it RT or RB? I think it's RT.
Oh no, I don't want to.
Yep, go back to map, and then attunement X RT. Yeah. So here you haven't collected enough codex fragments yet. So once you collect at least 8, then you'll suddenly see what are the common resources that are found in this map. So if you're looking for a very specific map, because again, the maps that you collect and you put into your armor or into your weapon, it not only just dictates the stats, but it also dictates the color. So there's a lot there. We can talk about crafting a little bit later. And then if you want to know more information about common enemies, that's another tab that's there. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So Alex, before you unpause, because I know your favorite little minion friend is next to you, which is the chameleon. So basically chameleons are, they're very squishy enemies actually, but the challenge with them is they have a bit of a cloaking mechanism on them. So when you your first tip to know that they're nearby is there's a kind of an audio cue. There's a little bit of a shimmer on them so you can see them. But the trick with them to decloak them is just to apply either cold or heat to them, and that reveals them, and then they take like triple the amount of damage. So up to you how you handle that. You have your ice wall, you can try to pin it or... Okay, so it already, And then you can parry, you can do all the other stuff. You can try to lift it up.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go. You got him.
You are my BFF now, thank you.
What?
And another little trick too, real quick, Alex. So like, go ahead and cast just a little ice in front of you or around you. Just like paint a little ice on the ground, just to show everyone. Okay, so let's say you have nothing to throw. You can switch to your telekinetic, your Weaver's Grasp. Your Weaver's Grasp power, the one there, And now you can select the ice and pick it up as ammunition and throw it at enemies.
What? I can not only make it, but I can also throw it.
Yes. So if you ever, Yeah, you can chuck it pretty far because it's ice. It's pretty light versus a boulder is heavy. So all the weight of objects really does impact what you can do.
And the other thing too that's
there
also
you see-
nice is about the ice is you can make a wall. So if you're being attacked by range enemies, it'll protect you too there. So
Absolutely. Yeah, you can block projectiles with it. You can pin enemies with it. You can also block a bit, hold back the heat of a fire breath from a drake to buy yourself time. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that. And one of the things the audience might have noticed is like when Alex was near the ice, he actually started getting cold.
yeah, I saw that.
The ice is generating cold, just like your fire powers will generate heat. So the way to counter that is actually you just need to build gear that has higher ice resistance or heat resistance. You can also collect vials that you can use to give you like buffs on heat and ice resistance as well.
The other thing that you also guys did is you can climb, I think everything or almost everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. We let you free climb the game, so we try to let you decide which path you want to go.
All right, I'm evil.
Yeah, and then, okay, so let me ask you this. As somebody who is a completionist and starts wanting to discover, when you think about just starting this game, like, you know, because sometimes people can feel overwhelmed, what would be kind of some of the top tips you would give them when they're starting out, right? Is it better to like progress to a certain point? Like, I know it's anybody can play, but if for people who kind of want to get in and kind of feel like they have some guidance, what would be like your top 5 tips?
I would definitely, I mean, you can sit here and we've seen people, even when the demo was up, we saw people play 20 plus hours of just our demo, which is just like the first 2 hours of the game,
right.
Which is pretty insane because you can sit there and try to get all the best materials that exist in this map and craft everything. I normally recommend people to unlock the Loom Gate, unlock the fast travel, battle the first arc, which is what's about to happen here in a little bit. Alex is about to get there. You eventually unlock what's called a loom shard right after that, which basically allows you to, at any point in time when you're out on an expedition, you can just, right now, Alex just has health vials for his HP, but you actually get another thing called a loom shard, which you basically can use to teleport back to base camp. So if you're doing like runs to grab materials, it's a quick way to go back and forth to get what you want. So I would suggest that, Robey, unlock the first loom gate, defeat the first arc, and then start like finding everything. But we really left everything open for the players to kind of decide how they want to play.
But they're not going to miss anything if they do anything like that, which is, I think, always my fear. I'm like, oh, what if so you got nothing to worry about that. And that's why I kind of wanted to, I appreciate that for me, because like you keep telling me these things and I'm like, how much of this stuff do I need to do right away? You know what I mean? And it feels like you can kind of go at your own pace and start going as deep into each one of the mechanics as you want to, because it sounds like you can also revisit zones, and that's kind of part of the whole thing.
Exactly. You actually will revisit zones. You come back here for quests, or you may come back here for certain materials that you're trying to gather, or maybe there's a certain boss that you're trying to defeat, because in our game, like I mentioned earlier, there's kind of 9 bosses. When Alex pulls up his magic wheel, you see there's kind of 9 slots. So every boss, as you defeat them, you gain a power. It's our version of Mega Man.
Which I love that game. So thank you.
Yeah. And one thing with how you unlock the powers, the first time you find a new enemy, a new boss, you defeat it however you want, you're going to get the power.
Right.
After that, though, there's actually a puzzle that you need to solve on the boss to defeat it. And by doing that, you'll harvest the strand, which is the magical threads that you bring back to base camp. One of your companions is Dom, the enchanter, and he basically weaves that strand, that thread, into your mantle, which then upgrades your power. And every power can be upgraded to a level 3. And as you can imagine, the higher the power, the more output it can do, the more flexibility, the more you can cast, all those kinds of things.
Which I think I love that. Like I was reading, I was obviously is just doing my research for some of this game. I was watching some of the reviews, and that's one of the things is I love that there's even a unique way to fight the boss that has to do with that particular power, and if you defeat it, then you can get that strand ability, which is cool because it sounds like there's just a ton of replayability here.
Absolutely, and because those creatures, we randomize where they appear every day. as you unlock them. The first time you encounter them, we know where you're going to encounter them, but after that, everyone's playthrough is going to be a little bit unique. And the weather modifiers affect that as well. So, going out and fighting a Ash Peak Drake who breathes a lot of fire and spreads a lot of heat everywhere during a drought, that heat is going to be extra, like things are going to spread even more. Versus if you do it during a flash freeze, the coldness will dampen the heat. So, and at the same time, any of your ice powers will now feel a little bit stronger versus your heat powers will be a little bit more dampened. So there's all that the players get to kind of play and experiment with.
Now, the other thing too is that I also saw, and I saw it as one of the tips, is that if you do use a fire power or you do use an ice power on an enemy kill, then there's a higher chance of it dropping a rare or epic resource. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so you basically can temper the enemies, and that goes for the bosses as well, because they're made of some of them are made up of different pieces of armor that you can break. And if you heat that armor and then break it, the loot table will adjust.
Okay, so that's what you were talking about a little bit before. Okay, got it. Okay, wow. Yeah, and the art style is really cool. So tell us a little bit about the art style and inspiration. Like when you think about the games that kind of inspired the art and things, what were top of your list?
Oh, well, I think for us, we're all, I mean, as you can imagine, we're all big gamers ourselves.
Right.
And a lot of the pedigree of the team has been comes from a AAA background.
Right.
We worked on Baldur's Gate 3, the Assassin's Creed franchise, various different, Apex, a lot of different things. And I think for us, when we got together, I think everyone was like, okay, I want to build a space, like a beautiful world, like a place that I want to escape to. It can be dangerous,
right,
but it's a place like I want to go camping here, So, this is what inspired us to go with more of a kind of a brighter color palettes. And we were super, at the time where we were starting to explore the visual look. Then like maybe about a year later, Arcane kind of dropped, and we loved what they did in Arcane, and that was super inspiring to us as creators. So this is where we kind of landed, this kind of hand-painted look. But we really wanted to make sure the detail was there. And the other thing that really drove us to go with this look more than maybe a very high fidelity look was we wanted to make sure the readability of your powers and the impact that's having on the world was very clear to the player. So it's very clear to see, okay, this is hot, this is cold. I can pick this up. So that was another driver how we settled at the look that you're seeing right now.
Okay, I'm seeing there's the big dude right there.
Yep. Alex is about to get a skill check.
Okay, so any tips going into this
show? We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
With a stronger sword, hopefully the carapace will.
Here we go, Alex. So Alex, the good thing is that you've got a little Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder who can help you as you kind of figure some stuff out, buddy. You got skill check plus guest. You can phone a friend.
I definitely found phoning a friend. Well, you don't
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor. That's it.
Swing harder.
Yes, we have this thing called the scribe back at base camp. So your companions are basically hovered around it, watching you, like with a bird's eye view. So that's how they're able to comment to you through your earpiece. Good luck, Alex.
Yeah, you got this, buddy. You got this.
The carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
I think I woke him up. Hey, you having a nap?
So
Sorry,
was
buddy.
was this when you guys fundamentally thought about this game? Was this kind of like Shadow of Colossus, these big bosses? Was this a core concept? Or
Yeah,
is this something
absolutely.
you kind of stumbled upon?
Day one. This was a core concept for us.
And who was the biggest Shadow of Colossus fan?
Might have been me.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm a big Shadows fan. I love that game, and even the remake that Blue did. The remaster, it was incredible.
So while he's finding this, how did you guys get connected with Square Enix, and it's interesting enough. So I worked on a game called Recore, and you talk about Mega Man, and that was with that was actually with the creators from Mega Man. But did you guys get some inspirations, obviously, from more Eastern style RPGs, and is that where kind of the Square Enix thing, or was that like something that kind of fell in your lap?
So I mean, we're definitely many RPG fans on the team. So we play, everything from Persona to
Oh, love that game.
Blue Protocol. I mean, we play everything. Obviously, Final Fantasy. I think for me, it actually stemmed from a connection I had with the Final Fantasy 14 team, Yoshida-san, back when he started rebooting Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
For those who are familiar with that story.
Yep.
At the time, I was at Mythic Entertainment, and we were, of course, known for Dark Age of Camelot and Warhammer Online. And we did a lot of stuff where it was a lot of PvP, RVR. Realm versus realm battle. Yep. And Yoshida-san was a big fan of our RVR mechanics, and he was going around meeting other developers. And at the time I was playing Final Fantasy 14 1.0. And we stayed in touch ever since. So we've always wanted to do something together. So now we finally were able to make it happen.
Alex, you can freeze his feet to the ground.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You got all those powers. We should call you Grav Guy, because you just love to grab and throw.
Yeah.
But you can freeze him.
Just freeze it to the ground. There you go.
And now he's pinned. There you go.
Buy you a little time.
Now you can get, and you can climb up him too. There's some stuff like.
So basically, Alex, for this guy, what you're trying to do is, get his health bar down to 0. He has some exposed skin on him that you can damage by either climbing on him or finding other creative ways to damage him. And you can also remove some of his armor to expose more of his skin. And as you do that, you'll chip his health down.
This hence the skill check. But I love this kind of, I like the fact that there's so many different approaches. Oh, look at this, he's throwing the ice now. You've taught him something and now he's like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
What is it like when you, what was like one of your top moments when you saw the community finally get a hold of the game that you were like, yes, this particular like mechanic landed or whatever it was? Like, was there any moment like that you really kind of enjoyed?
I think, for sure. The big one, Robey, was seeing people fight these creatures. It's great because we see people do different things than we had planned sometimes as well, and come up with other creative ways, which is great. So I think we never get tired in the office of watching people fighting bosses and seeing how they decide to take them down. The other thing that I think was a nice surprise for us, we were already excited about our crafting system. We knew we were taking kind of a different approach on that than what's typically done. And seeing that it actually resonated very well. There you go, Alex, you got one part. So now you got to move around and find another part.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah,
look at that.
He found me.
Ow. Apparently you triggered Siri. It said,
No need for a chiropractor.
You said it found me, and then Siri goes, I am here. So yeah, you can see, Alex, isn't this like, I love the mechanic. So there's some skin right there. There you go.
Yeah. So now you got to find another one. There's also, Alex, there's these latches on him that you might see. They're kind of a lighter color. There's one right there just above you on his leg. You just have to jump up there. Yeah. And then get to that. You can break those, and then if you break enough of those, it'll remove the armor and expose more skin for you to
like that.
Everything you've got.
Running a little bit low on.
Are you out of?
You can do it. Push.
You've got this, Alex.
I believe in you. No. Run.
Alex is being less inner monologue-y than he normally is, wouldn't you say, Sarah?
I don't want to interrupt this amazing discussion.
Oh, for sure. But
There you
can
go.
you imagine the pressure he is in? Can we just give him a quick
Well,
demo in chat for this?
Yeah, Sarah, we can add the pressure. This is the easiest boss we have. So we actually removed his weapon. His health is lower. So there you go. You're so close, Alex. You just got a little bit. You gotta find it. You gotta find one more spot.
There it is. Hey, you gotta make it get scratch. I got you, buddy.
Oh, there's on his back.
Be a
there
few
you
more
go.
latches.
Oh, there's a couple.
No. Low. Get low. From the window, get low. Oh, one more. Hey.
Come on, Alex. We gotta beat one before the end.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, now his chest's open. You got a bow.
That is true. Oh.
He's still got a lot of life. Oh, dang, that was a hit.
So close.
And,
Alex is like, it's like so much switching on the fly. This is where you like start to see. So what was one of the more creative ways that you saw somebody beat this that you were like, wait, what?
I think one of my, again, as you kind of, you're so
sorry.
close. You can do it. You're still going to be
he grabbed
fine.
you. I'm a little bit hot. I'm a little delayed.
yeah.
I think one of the interesting things I always appreciate when players are doing it. Again, it's always you can come back when you unlock even more powers, and then you see other different things happen. But for sure, freezing the hand when it does a punch, or seeing people figured out like you can actually parry those attacks as well if you have your shield out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to time it, but you can absolutely do. Oh, you're just so close. Like,
Just stab him.
Just get over a little bit.
Stab him. Come,
Just move over
get
a little
over.
bit. You're so
Stab
close.
him. Oh my gosh.
You're okay.
You are stressing
There
me
you go.
out, Alex.
He works out, and he's not supposed
Hold
to reach
Y,
that back.
cling. Oh,
Oh no! Wait, I need juice.
3 backseat gamers. Yeah.
yes. Oh, don't bother kicking. Pull out your sword or something if you want to break crates. Yeah.
He's like,
Oh,
Alex,
I think there was a help. Yeah.
this is the moment right here. This is your. Oh, there's one right there, over behind you. Oh,
Where?
there was a
Go back
juice.
there.
Oh,
There's one.
There's
Yes.
one.
Pop it.
Get it.
Okay, go. You can do it.
Yes.
He's slow. Look, you damaged. So yeah, you can see here because Alex damaged the legs. He's kind of being a little bit slower. So yeah, as you damage the limbs, it changes their behavior a little bit.
There you go. Now get up there.
Oh. Ooh.
You got a full health
Come on
bar.
up.
Oh, dang.
Keep going. Keep going. Oh.
What?
Oh my gosh, he grabbed you from underneath.
Oh, you're still on him. There you go. Nice.
Come on, let's go. Quick.
There's a let. Oh, hold Y, Alex, so you don't get tossed off. That's how you conserve your stamina. There you go.
Stab
Okay.
him.
Oh,
There it
you
is.
didn't walk. Yes. Are you done?
Oh, one more. You got to find another spot.
Wait, there's one more spot.
Yeah. He has like 1 HP, I think. Alex, 1 HP.
Oh, I see where I'm supposed to go. Hold on. Hold on. No. Look at me. I'm dangling.
Jangle.
Alex, what is this? You're just holding onto his thumb.
There's a latch.
Boom.
Get ready.
Boom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey. Don't get squished.
Oh, man. Dude, Alex, that was too stressful.
We gotta make it. You know, we have a show here.
Oh my gosh.
Leaving me off on
Oh,
strike.
I need to eat some like nerds right now because like that was
I need
too
a
much.
little.
Yeah. Now you need to have your 1,000 calorie gummy controller. That's what you
No
need. to
kidding,
have.
dude. Whoa. No kidding. Man, Alex, you like took that down to the wire. Okay, so now that he's taken this thing down, what's the next step? What's he doing from here?
Basically, what he needs to do is he needs to go back to base camp because he basically got a piece of the carapace off of the creature. So I think he's on the quest called Loom Gate. So you can use your Watcher's Wisp, Alex, which is up on the D-pad to show you kind of what path to take. Your closest path back to base camp. If you need a guideline, yeah, you can follow those. They're kind of hinting a direction where you need to go. So the Watcher's Wisp, because Alex unlocked it before we started this stream, is basically our way for anyone who needs a little guidance or a nudge towards their objective. You can just pop open the Watcher's Wisp and it'll kind of show you where you need to go.
Nice.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
I must not have that yet.
Yeah. So and you can upgrade it at your base camp as well to make it so you can use it. This cooldown timer goes from 30 seconds, I think, to 5 seconds. But Alex is on the right path. So this is basically a secret cave that's like a shortcut back to base camp.
Oh, look at that. Alex, you found a secret cave.
Yes. There was
And
no
then-
Batman, but
Oh,
still,
wow.
it's a
And
good
then
game.
question for you. Are there, because I was noticing as I was walking around, there was like an ice cave at one point in time. Are
Yep.
there
Yes.
Metroidvania type, like where you need to get something to unlock something in this area?
So basically what we did, again, because we didn't want to necessarily 100% gate players,
Okay.
but there are physics temperature challenges throughout the game that you need to figure out how you want it. So that ice cave, for example, probably a schematic that's probably hidden back there.
Okay.
And you just need to figure out how do you deal with that temperature drop?
Which you could do with like one of the little flame ball things and throw that in there.
You
or
could
whatever
either use one of the fire plants.
Yeah.
Maybe you find a way to break the ice that's generating the heat. So go after the source. Maybe you have a firepower that can counter that heat, that cold. Maybe you go back there during a drought. So the natural ambient temperature is higher. There's lots of different ways.
Wow.
So,
okay. So yeah, it's
to figure out.
Okay, so there's actually quite a bit. There's a lot of mechanics that could deter. So there might be certain circumstances just in environmental sets where it might be a little bit easier for you.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh wow. Okay. And then when you guys think about like as people play through the game, have you guys talked about plans for what's next in terms of? I know you've talked about like maybe some of these characters and stuff, but when we think about potential expansions and stuff like that, what might those things look like?
So happy to say, as we were mentioning a little bit earlier regarding the Square Enix collab we're doing in the spring. So that's going to have a new boss. So that's going to be boss number 10. So as you probably can guess, that means there's going to be a new power with that boss. We're also having all the new weapon designs that they're giving as well, and you'll need to find those schematics. And we're going to share more details on that. So there's going to be a nice bit of juicy new content for players in the spring, and all that we're giving away for free. Then of course, we're taking all the feedback we're getting from the community as well and trying to make sure we address as much of that also in that patch. So a lot of quality of life improvements and stuff. Beyond that, one thing we kind of a little bit teased back at Tokyo Game Show last year was we're doing our second collab with a company called Grasshopper Manufacturing. For people who know Suda-san and are familiar with like No More Heroes, Shadows of the Damned, a whole bunch of titles. So he's actually with one of his lead concept artists designing some new content for us as well. So, but more to talk about that after we get past our first spring update.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So the thing is that there is much breadth, much to build in this universe as things continue moving forward.
Absolutely. And a question I get asked a lot is like, how big is this game? And one thing we wanted to do, coming from as developers who built games that are hundreds of hours and hundreds of hours, but we wanted to make sure that this is something we really hope people go all the way through. So a typical playthrough we find in the game is about 25, 30 hours. And for completionists, perhaps like you, Robey, you can spend easily 40, 50 hours in this game if you want to get every schematic, you want to get all the best mats. If you're into the fashion game of crafting, there's a lot there to do. If you want to do all the companion quests, those are all optional side quests that you can do. All that's there for people to dive into if they like.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm a little lost here.
Yeah, so so you're upgrading? Okay, so yeah, I can talk a little bit about crafting, Alex, to walk you through a little bit. So so you have crafting. Yeah, so you need to craft this conduit patch for the Loom Gate. So if you click on that, you already have the carapace. Yep, so you can go ahead and, now you need forge resources. You need 5 of them. So our materials, there's lots of different types of materials in the game. Oh, you can click again to open up the next, go back to, click. Okay. So basically we have forge, card, woven. There's a lot of different types of materials. They're in families. So this one you can put any one in. It doesn't matter. So iron is a good one because you have so much iron. So that gives you the patch. So now I'll let this finish out.
You think this patch will fix the leak?
Yes.
And by the way, guys, it is definitely worth talking to your companions and because there's a lot that their stories are really interesting. The voice acting is fantastic, and then there's even some chance for some evolution in there. Yeah. There's
we left a couple of surprises there for players. So definitely have fun. We really wanted to focus on your relationships with the companions. The story of adventure, all of that. Some of the companions in the camp, like they're Sola and Dom, the enchanter, they're actually a married couple. So we talk about a married couple in this fantasy universe. Oria, your mentor, who's the bird lady in front of Alex right now, who kind of guides you through. She's currently wounded. She was the original point for this Weaver band. She gets wounded in the beginning of the game, which explains why Bryn has to step over and take over as the point.
The
So
patch
now
is
we're getting ready to activate
cleared
the
the
loom gate.
Glintwood.
Okay.
Excellent work.
And this is kind of like, now that you have these gates, this makes it a little bit faster for you to be able to get back to camp with all of your resources, so to speak, yeah?
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
Right. If you say
I on the did what I can rest.
Yes.
I undid the improvements I did to my sword, but I can't find it anymore.
Oh, so yeah, before you rest, Alex, I can talk a little bit more about the crafting. So you have a couple options. We really wanted to make our crafting system super flexible and not penalize the player for any choice. So you never have to worry like, oh my gosh, if I put 5 of these items into my weapon, am I going to lose them? No, you can always pull all 5 back out. There's no penalty. You don't lose anything. So you're right now in the crafting menu. So if you bounce back out, Alex, real quick. So here you have all the recipes that you've discovered. Of course, when you start the game, you have all the recipes for your starting equipment. And as you tab through there on the top, there you go. You found one of the torso pieces, the opportunist. You found over by the loom gate. So let's say you wanted to craft that. You can see it has some base stats there at the top, but underneath that, you see how it says max magic. So all of the other armor sets, each individual piece, there's a theme to it. The opportunist set is a way for you to increase your max magic bar. So you have a bigger pool. And by the way, these are not set bonuses. So you get this for every individual piece, and these pieces stack. And even if you want, we have one that, for example, is higher armor. Like it gives you a really big boost on armor stat. You can mix and match them. So to basically kind of play towards your preferred play style, which is kind of cool. So it's a way for we put that there. So you really encourage people to gather these. So here you see there's a bunch of materials that you need. You have some woven ones, which is the one you're in right now, forge, and then another set of woven and carved. So the top one that requires the most, that's the one that's going to drive the most amount of stats. And you can see as you select over your woven resources, you can see it kind of changing the color of the armor piece as well. Yeah,
I saw that.
Now, in your case, Alex, you need 6 to start this, but you only have 1 resource of woven, which is the second from the left and second down, which is the one more down, the Akala, Akala fur. So go ahead and drop that in there, and you can see that's going to increase your armor and it's going to increase your cold resistance. Forge, you need 3, so you can kind of select. So here you have a couple options. So again, you can look at the color. If the color is really driving your choice, if you're more a stat person, you can see like each material is actually going to change the stats slightly different. Some will favor more heat resistance, some cold resistance. Some will drive your weight down or your weight up. And weight's also important in our game as well because our character Bryn, she's physics driven. So the lighter she is, the more nimble she's going to be when she pushes off of surfaces, when she climbs, versus if she's heavy, she'll be able to tank things a little bit better. So yep, we got 2 woven resources there. And then a carved resource at the end to choose from. And then
I like the colors. Like it's cool to see how all that stuff is manifesting, you know?
Yeah. And you can, so now you hit equip, I assumed, and then you can back out of this. Let's see, do you have it on? Yes, you do. Yeah, so there you go. So now if you go back to Sola real quick, just to show the flexibility. So that was you just going, hey, I want to craft a new piece. Another thing you can do is called Reforge. So if you click on Reforge, basically what this does is it takes any piece of equipment that you've crafted already, and you basically can upgrade it. You basically can put in different higher quality mats to make it better. So even if, if you wanted to select, you're selecting your Reeves. So yeah, here you go. Your first one, you see that there's different quality of materials, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. So that first one right there on the top left, the hard leather, that's already going to increase your armor by 3. It's going to bring up both your heat and cold resistance by 1. So that's worth doing already. And you don't have to do every slot. Like you can just do 1 piece or you can do all the slots. It's totally up to you. And when you're done with that, you can just hit Reforged and you'll reforge it right away. That upgrade that piece.
That is pretty cool because that means that you don't have to use all the materials. Like I just want to use 1 material. And
absolutely. So you can do it piece by piece. Maybe there's a certain trimming that you want to do. And there you go. So now you have that. And then another option you can do if you back out of this, let's say you like the materials that you have in it and you're just like, no, I just want a better version of these types of stats in this material. You do upgrade equipment, and basically what it's saying here is you just need more of the same type of material that's already crafted into that weapon, and you basically can upgrade it from level 1, 2, 3, all the way up to level 5. And when you do this, that special stat you see there, max magic, actually improves, all that improves as well.
So if I go in and get more Akala Fur Steel and Horn Fragments, I can come here and I'll just get it to level 2.
Yep, you can up. And basically to level up to unlock the ability to upgrade to level 2, level 3, level 4, you basically upgrade Sola's base camp, which you did earlier, I believe, before the stream. So, and then if you back out of this, the last thing about crafting is dismantle. So don't do this because I don't think you want to do this right now. But let's say you had a piece of gear and you're like, you know what? I have this other piece of gear that I just love way more. I don't need this other piece of gear anymore, and I want all those materials back. You just dismantle it and we give you everything back.
Oh wow, you get everything back.
So that's what happened to my sword.
Yeah. No, nothing lost. So we wanted to make that as frictionless as possible.
Oh, that's actually, I really appreciate that, because sometimes like one of the things is like sometimes that can be the thing that'll keep you from getting into the crafting system, because you're just worried that, oh, I only have finite resources, and if I craft the wrong thing, you know what I mean, then being able to get it back is such a huge part of that.
Oh no.
So I appreciate it, Jeff. I just want to let you know, if you want to put that on your website, Robey appreciate.
Okay, Robey approved. I'll put a stamp. So basically, you want to craft your sword, because if you dismantled your mundane sword, it's the first one, I believe. Alex, yep, there it is. Mundane sword.
He did take it apart.
He dismantled it. Yeah, so you can go build yourself a new sword. Yeah, and now of course we called it mundane because it's the most basic weapon. It has no magical powers with it, but there actually are magical versions of all the weapons in the game that are kind of hidden out in the world for you to find. So again, you have to find the schematics and then you can craft it. So we have ice, telekinetic, and fire versions of all 3 weapon types in the game. And those have unique powers as well that you can mix and match and blend with your other magical powers.
And that's why Alex doesn't have nice things, because he goes and dismantles them.
Don't worry, you're not the first one, Alex, to have done it.
Yeah, okay, so I still have my sword. Okay, it is there.
I mean, Alex,
and if you want to,
you got your game cred today. Remember, you beat the easiest boss in the game.
I thought that was the dragon. I guess not.
No, that's your next goal, Alex, is defeat the Drake. And the bigger challenge, I would say, harvest the magical thread from the Drake.
Oh wow.
So, but you'll get there. So yeah, here you can always, so basically every time you come back to base camp, we automatically take everything out of your backpack and we store it into your inventory chest. So it's always there. So as you're crafting, you're basically pulling the resources automatically from here.
Awesome, thank you.
You don't need to worry about carrying stuff back and forth. And then the other thing you realized earlier that you unlocked was we're showing you the mechanic of sleeping. So again, our game runs on a day cycle. It's 2 parts day, 1 part night. And you can sleep to switch from day to night and then night to the next day.
And you said that, I mean, weather and everything influences the whole gameplay, right?
Yes.
I'm just really surprised at the level of, there's just a lot of systems that are all interwoven. So when you guys got to like your vertical slice, having worked on open world games like Crackdown and stuff like that, was there just a point, like you just had to get every system to a good point before like you guys are like, yes, okay, I see the entire vision, and you guys can like track towards the end at that point?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you're calling that out, Robey. It's because we do consider ourselves very systemic driven.
Yeah.
Like we really try to build systems that feed into systems, and we're big believers in that because of, well, 2 things. I mean, one, believe if you can build strong systems, you can do really powerful game experiences without having 1,000 people. And another thing is we just love the idea that when these systems blend, it creates unique opportunities that are unique to that moment in time for the player who's playing right then and there. And they can play with these rules to creatively do things. So for us, we really paid a lot to like the world logic, the systems. Of course, it was super difficult to tune until we had everything
course.
together,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we could start tuning it. But once it was all connected, it really everything really started clicking together pretty quickly.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Is there, I mean, like, it's looking through like how you're doing the storytelling, and now that you've kind of gone out there, and I know you guys were only a 60-man team. Are there areas where you wish you could have done a little bit better? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, from the reviews and stuff, people really are enjoying the game and all the systems and all that sort of stuff. But what were some of the things that were left on the cutting room floor?
I think they were watching me.
Oh wow. Yeah, so we constantly had to cut stuff out of the game because we realized, okay, you know what, we're not going to be able to get that to the quality we want it to be. I mean, so there's obviously various different types of biomes in the game that players will discover. We cut one biome out of the game, which was too big. The weapons, we actually had a lot more, not weapon types. We always knew we wanted two-hander, sword and shield and bow, but we had a lot more magical types of weapons. I think one time we were like 20 different types of fire swords, 20 different types of ice swords. It was like stupid crazy. Now thinking back at it, and then we realized we needed to simplify that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, so there was, I mean, in the beginning when we first started the game, we actually thought the player was going to be able to customize their character, the protagonist, and decide like, do I want to play as a male or a female or whatever? And we realized the cost for us to build that properly was
I remember that
first game. So we were just like, no, we want to tell the story of one protagonist, and so we settled on Bryn for our first initial story. So yeah, there's always sacrifices like that we had to make along the way. And then in terms of like other learnings, I mean, it's, we only had so much budget we could do to get like user testing done on the game. And now seeing people play, it's obviously the best user testing we're getting.
Of course.
So now we're realizing, okay, we could tune this better. So remove a little friction here, or favor the player a little bit here, and so we're realizing some assumptions we made, we were a little bit off, so we're trying to course correct those. But that's part of game dev, and it's
as much art as anything else, right? But at the same time, like, it's just like, as somebody who has been there, and I think like I said, made games for 20 years. Like, looking at this, it's like you guys have done a lot and really pulled off something pretty magical, especially with your systemic, like how you guys have used systems within systems to pull off emergent gameplay, if that makes sense, right? Which I think is super fun. So the other thing too is that if people really kind of play with it and dive into it, they can create a lot of variety in how they do their combat encounters. Or I could even see where you might have challenges where, like, on this day it's certain tunement for using gravity or using ice or using, what I mean? Like those sort of things that all get into as the game grows. That, I mean, just you guys have already built all the subsystems to make stuff like that easy moving forward. So I have to say, masterclass in terms of just that sort of stuff, and just a little bit of a nod to you guys as I've watched and played.
Thanks so much. No, it means a lot for us to hear that. You work on something for so many years and you just don't know what the reception is going to be, and then when you see people enjoying and having fun in the game, I mean, that's why we love doing what we do. So and again, it's our company is called yellowBrick Games, and I always tell people it's like we want to earn that S in games. Like, we want to keep making more games. So it's just like, please, people, check out our game. We made sure we shipped it on PlayStation, on Xbox. It's on Game Pass, it's on Steam, it's on Epic. It's we priced it at $39.99 USD. Like, we really wanted to make sure to get as many people to play it as possible and see what we're trying to do. As our first debut indie title that we self-published. Excited. Continue to be excited seeing people stream the game and comment about their experience playing.
And by the way, guys, if you have MSI Claw, you know what I mean? This does work very well. So this is going to be, like I was telling him, this is going to be my travel game that I'm going to be playing on the plane as I head off to vacation starting tomorrow. So I was looking for a great title for this, and this was actually going to be one of my ones, because I just really love these style of games. And the art style, it's like that painted, bright art style is always my thing. And I really actually love the way that you're telling the story with the mix of obviously you have the 3D modeled stories like what you're seeing here, but then the comic book type art-driven method as well. And the voice actors just so good. So just one of those things that kind of, it has like the whole thing, and there's a lot of fun just to have in exploring, which is, I've spent 2 hours playing and haven't done a whole lot, just exploring and trying to figure out how to fight guys in an effective way. And then you taught me about parry, and now I'm like, oh, there's another way to do it, right? Which is actually super, super cool.
Yeah. Congrats, Alex. You unlocked fast travel.
Yes, I was very happy to see that. So now, like, look at that. I just got here. I could use.
Now you can go there and you can go back. Yeah. And
Yes.
you'll basically unlock more as you go through. And I think, do you have the loom chart yet? I don't know, Alex. If you press left or right on the D-pad. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I have it.
Now, if you anywhere you're at, you don't even need to come back to the loom gate. If you just want to get back to base camp, you can just hold down on the D-pad with that selected on your belt.
Snap.
And Aurea will call you back, and you're back in base camp.
Sweet.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking for a hammer.
I do want to apologize, Jeff, that, I know Alex did his best to make the game look good.
Oh no, he did great. He did great. I'm glad he defeated the Ark. So that's
Alex is actually a very good gamer. I just like to give him crap.
I did try to do it in the most dramatic.
You gave me a heart condition. I may not be able to go on vacation anymore because I have a heart condition thanks to you. 1 hit point. They had 1 hit point.
wait.
You were out of juice. We had 1 hit point. You can't do that. And Sarah, we know
He was
about
just
Sarah and
hanging
her
on
heart
to his
condition.
thumb.
Huh?
He was just hanging on to with his thumb.
I know. Ooh.
So Alex, just I don't know how much time we have left, but since you unlocked a new power, you can see there what it kind of does. It kind of acts as like a magnetic bubble. So two cool things with this one. And then I won't say anymore. I'll let you figure out the rest. So let's say you drop a bubble there. Okay. Now let's say you cast ice into it.
Can I wait from here?
Yep.
Yeah.
So pull up your wheel again with LT. Grab ice ball. Now put a little ice in the middle of it. You can just. Yep. Now you see how you can stop. See how it's pulling? It's grabbing the cold and it's making like a cold vortex.
Oh.
So things that are really weak to cold, that's a way to basically
Get him
shred
sucked
them.
in.
So yeah, get them sucked in, they get sucked. Another cool thing you can do, grab the ensnaring blast one more time. So switch to it. Yep, that's on the bottom. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Yeah. And then let's say you turn around to the clip. Let's say you drop it at the edge of the clip, like just right on the lip. Yeah, just drop it in front of you and make a bubble. Now, if you jump into that bubble and then pull the trigger button, you'll pop it and you can use it to throw yourself forward.
What?
You just missed it. you gotta pop the bubble, and it basically will, because it's a force when it explodes. So any object that's in that bubble will get thrown, and including your own character. So it's another way to pop
Wow.
yourself up, maybe onto an epic creature or across the chasm.
So it's like
So
it's
you
almost
gotta
like
use.
it's
It's
almost like a reverse grapple hook.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be, because I'm not playing, I have the muscle memory. It might be LTRT.
Yeah. Well, it's cast.
Oh, and RT.
RT. Nope. This is user error.
I'm trying to do it by memory. I felt like it's LT to cast and RT to cast, and then I think if you press R while you're holding LT, if you press RT, it'll stop it. Oh, well, that time it expired.
No.
Try again, and then run, and then
You can do it. Alex.
while you're holding LT.
Oh, that's the problem.
So you need to hold LT and then run into the bubble and then hold and then press RT. Yeah, or you can guess another one and then now press RT while you're holding LT.
Oh, there it goes. Whoa.
Yeah. And then for another little tip for when you're falling, if you want to negate the fall damage, you just need to do a perfectly kind of timed roll. So if you dodge roll,
Right.
like, as you
So
get
hit
close to
B
the
right as
ground.
you get near the ground.
Yeah, you can just practice it here if you want to. Just jump down there and just get ready to hit B as you get close to the ground.
Oh.
There you go. No, you did it. There's different thresholds of negating it, but there you negated quite a bit of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All the
So-
tips and tricks. Thanks, man.
Yeah. There's lots of little stuff like that, and there's I don't want to say too much because for me, that's kind of the fun. I think when you
Oh, look at that.
yeah, there you go. You got it perfect there. I always find it fun when people are playing and they go, "Oh, can I do this?" And then they try to do it and it works. That's always the most rewarding. We try to build the game that way. So
That's awesome. Okay, so guys, this has been Eternal Strand. That's what you guys have been, Eternal Strands. That's what we've been playing. That's what we've been playing up until this point. We have been joined by. Oh, wait, let me go to the one that shows all three of us. My bad. So there we go. We've been joined by Jeff from Jeff. And how do you say your last name? I just want to say.
Oh, yeah, it's like a skull that skis. So Skalski.
Okay, so Jeff Skalski from yellowBrick Games, the COO. And Jeff, if people want to check out, it sounds like your game's pretty much everywhere, but if people want to check out your game or more about you guys, where do they go?
Oh yeah, so you can go to yellowbrickgames.ca. You can jump to eternalstrandsthegame.com. But for sure, we're on PS5. We're on Xbox X and S. Any Game Pass players out there, you can check us out on Game Pass. We're there. Go take a look. And then if you're a Steam or an Epic user, we're on both of those platforms also. So
awesome.
Yeah, have some fun.
Okay, and that is it for us today on Intel Live. Sarah, what do we got? What's the plan moving forward?
I think we're off next week. So
Yeah.
you're going to go enjoy your vacation. We are going to be back on the 28th. So we're going to have new tech to talk about. We're going to have new games to play. So come check us out on the 28th.
Back on the 28th. And guys, definitely, please go check out this game. There's a lot to love here. Eternal Strands. We're playing it on Steam. Runs beautifully, even on your handhelds as well. And let's support such an amazing studio at the same time. Anyway, guys, that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Alex is just going to play and just ignore us. He's not going to say goodbye, get on camera, and he's just going to keep playing the game. He's just, Alex, no worries. We're not just trying to sign off or anything. There he is.
No. I'm just showcasing the game. I'm very involved game. Thank you guys.
Thank you very
Jeff.
much,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.
It was a blast. Cheers.
Bye.
I know. I'm like, I have this chameleon that is chasing me down.